Let's return now to that breaking news that the Duke of Edinburgh was admitted to hospital last evening, as we're told, as a precautionary measure. Let's get more on this. Our Royal Correspondent Nicholas Witchell joins me now. Nick, what do we know?
We know that he had been feeling unwell for a couple of days. We are told that this is not COVID related. It is, as you've said, Simon, according to Buckingham Palace, a precautionary admission. He was taken from Windsor to the hospital in London by car. We're told that he walked in. This was not an emergency admission. More than that, we don't really have any further details other, as I say, than that he had been feeling unwell for a couple of days, and it is the decision of his doctors that he should be admitted to hospital as a precaution. We know, of course, that he is just a couple of months short now of his 100th birthday. He has been at Windsor with the Queen in self-isolation there with a small number of officials. He was last in hospital just before Christmas 2019. On that occasion, he was admitted for observation and treatment. In the words of Buckingham Palace, that too was described as a precautionary admission, and he spent 4 nights in hospital on that occasion. But certainly I sense from Buckingham Palace that there is no sense of particular alarm over this, but clearly the fact of the matter is that he is just a couple of months short now of his 100th birthday in June. So any hospital admission, any illness clearly is going to be treated seriously, and that would explain, I would imagine, the fact that they have felt that as a precautionary measure he should be admitted to hospital, which happened last night.
Yeah. Nick, no involvement, as far as we know, of COVID, as you say, but of course that has affected both his and the Queen's itinerary for recent months, and they've had to change their plans as a result, and they've been very much on their own.
Yes, in self-isolation, as I say, with a small number of officials. He has no public programme, of course, now, having retired from active royal life in 2017. But it has been a matter of pleasure, I think, for both of them that they have spent this unexpected amount of time together until he travelled to Windsor to go into self-isolation with the Queen. The Duke of Edinburgh was spending most of his time in retirement up at Sandringham, but they were brought together with the small number of staff who are assisting them at Windsor in the summer of last year when the lockdown first took place. So, yes, I mean, they've been having a quiet life. The Queen, of course, continuing with her duties as head of state, with the workload, the boxes, which have been going to Windsor, but the Duke in support to her, but pursuing a quiet life, as one would expect for someone of his age. But once again, if you're just joining us, the news that the Duke of Edinburgh was admitted to hospital, the King Edward VII Hospital in London last night, for what his doctors are describing as a precautionary measure, having been feeling unwell for a couple of days. But the Palace stresses that this is not COVID related.
Nick Witchell, thank you very much. You're watching BBC News. Our headlines this afternoon, as we've just been hearing, the Duke of Edinburgh has been admitted to hospital after feeling unwell for a few days. Buckingham Palace says it's a precaution and isn't COVID related. The world's first human trials, where people will be deliberately infected with COVID-19, are given the go-ahead in the UK. Cautious and prudent, the Prime Minister says he won't be pushed into lifting lockdown restrictions too early.